The author of that study, Dr. Heather Hausenblas, joins us now to discuss the findings and what they could mean for you and your diet. Welcome to the show, Dr. Hausenblas.
Thank you for having me.
Well, fantastic. Are we saying resveratrol correctly?
You know what you are. It is a bit of a mouthful, but resveratrol, that's correct how you say it.
Okay, good. Because I wrote a pronouncer right in front of me, and I didn't want to have to change it.
And, earlier the beer goddess was saying there are vitamins in beer vitamins. I love that. And it's so great to hear that there's also something great for us in wine.
I know. How fantastic is that?
And chocolate.
So now, if I understand your study correctly, and this study you did in combination, it's the University of Florida, but also two other schools, correct?
That's correct. I had two other co-authors, one from University of Marywood, James Moglia, and also Joe Bauer, who is at University of Pennsylvania. And we worked together on this resveratrol review to try to get a handle on what the health benefits are of resveratrol in humans.
And it's been touted quite a lot as being something that prolongs your life, but your study basically says it may not prolong your life, but it'll make your later years a lot more comfortable. Do I have that right?
You know what? That's right. We talk a lot about resveratrol, and it's found, within our diet, probably the highest source is in red wine, which for red wine drinkers makes them quite happy to know that there's something really healthy about the red wine, and that's the resveratrol. And for a while it's been saying that, it's a longevity factor. It's going to make you live longer. And there's the potential for that, but I think more important, the resveratrol, if you take it in a high enough dose, what the science is showing us is it's going to help you live a healthier life with a whole host of health benefits.
I love that. And
it makes me happy while I'm drinking the wine and eating the chocolate, too.
I imagine, Patty, we always talk about this. Everything has to be in moderation. Did your study point to that?
You know what? Obviously, definitely. For women, a glass of red wine a day, potentially men, too. And so people will come to me and say, well, how much resveratrol do I really need? And within a glass of wine, you're right, there's more resveratrol within a glass of red wine. Certain types of red wine contain more resveratrol than organic wine would have more because resveratrol grows naturally on the grape. A Pinot Noir, for example, or a Muscadine grape tends to contain higher doses of the resveratrol. So for people to get the amount of resveratrol that we see in a lot of these clinical studies, they will often turn to a supplement form of resveratrol where you can get a much higher dose without kind of the negative effects and the calories associated with drinking red wine.
So one glass is good, but you're not necessarily recommending a bottle to get more resveratrol that way?
You know what? I never would recommend that. I say, enjoy your one glass of red wine and know that it's got some resveratrol in it that's really good for you. But if you really want to get that true, benefit of the resveratrol, I recommend people taking it as a supplement form.
So in a supplement form, are you talking about something we'd get at the health food store, or are there other foods, other berries, perhaps other ways that we can get it into our diet?
There are other ways besides supplement. In supplement, you're going to get it in the highest dosage. But, you can get resveratrol in other food sources like blueberries, chocolate, peanuts, for example. But it's going to be in a much smaller dosage, and you would really need to eat a lot of it to get that resveratrol. Now, or the amount that you need for those health benefits.
We're speaking with Dr. Heather Hausenblas with the University of Florida. She was the lead author of a study on resveratrol, specifically that found in high concentrations in both dark chocolate and red wines. And Dr. Hausenblas, I eat dark chocolate every day, and I buy this version you can get at Trader Joe's at the checkout line. And it's 85% cacao. In fact, I have a box of it right here at my desk. So if you're buying it in that high of concentration, then does it give you sort of the same amount you might get in a glass of organic Pinot?
Oh, but they're both are going to have resveratrol, but really when you're talking about the cocoa and, the dark chocolate, when you say it says, let's say 70% cocoa or 80 or even 90%, what is the main health benefit that you're getting from that is a flavonoid that's called flavanols. It's present within the cocoa. Now, people say, oh, this is great. Now I can eat a whole bunch of chocolate. Well, you'd have to eat a lot of chocolate. And, you're also going to get some of the added, calories associated with it, the sugar and the fat. So, a square or two of that dark chocolate that contains that high percentage of cocoa is good. And there's also new delivery systems that you can get the health benefits of the chocolate and the cocoa without all those added, calories and sugars, which can come in like a Cocoa Well supplement form as well.
Oh.
Okay, so another supplement where we can get, and you're talking, did I get it right, flavanols?
Flavanols, right.
So resveratrol and flavanol both end in OL. Are they related somehow?
You know what? They are related. They're a class of what's called polyphenols. And research is continually beginning to find, that there are thousands of different types of polyphenols that we get within plants, and certain plants have different types of polyphenols. But research is beginning to show that different polyphenols tend to have different types of health benefits for us when taken in a large enough dose.
Okay. Huh.
I know. It's like, who knew?
Part of this kind of bums me out just a little bit because I'm not a supplement person, and I've
I was thinking that, Randall, when she was saying supplements, I'm like, oh, goodness.
Here goes Randall.
Here goes.
Years ago, I had a number of nutrition professors at Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, who really tried to pound it into us that you can get all the nutrients you need if you just have a very well-balanced diet, and that
variety and all of that.
That you just essentially have a really expensive urine if you take too many supplements because your body can't even process it all. But how would you react to that?
That is a good point, and there is some fact to that. And we should be trying to get as much as we possibly can from our diet and eating as healthy as possible. However, unfortunately, most of us don't necessarily eat that way. And when you're looking to supplement, and that's what you're doing, you're supplementing your diet, and it's not to replace anything that you should be eating, but to kind of help out. And there are certain supplements that are much better than others that your body can process a little bit better if you're looking for organic and all natural. So just like anything, there are things that are okay, within the supplement line, and things that are, supplements that are really good. And you want to look for those higher quality, potentially organic, all natural types of supplements that are actually clinically tested on humans.
This is just the beginning for your studies there at the University of Florida, correct?
Correct.
You have so you've learned what you wanted to know in this last study, but now you're really going to delve into resveratrol itself?
Well, focused, on resveratrol, trying to get some studies up and running, really taking a look, within humans who take it for, an extended period of time. What are the exact, health benefits, and kind of branching out also into other types of, all natural, supplements, and see the effects that they have over time.
I'm just so surprised that this, according to the paper that you wrote, hadn't been more studied in humans. It had been studied a lot in animals.
It is quite amazing. There's been thousands of studies done, on resveratrol, and most of them, studied within animals or, within the lab. And now over the last few years, it's really finally we're beginning to see the clinical trials going on with humans. And one was just published that was a year-long clinical trial showing health effects of resveratrol.
I apologize. I got to stop you there. The music's playing us out. This is a hard break. But author of a study from University of Florida on resveratrol, Dr. Heather Hausenblas, thank you so much for being on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're back up in just a moment.
This is Betty White.